Yeah, Close the doors, walk across the corridor. We got something to show you. Media is our repertoire. Fed up with the same news, no channel to use. Cruise control mentalities. Here we offer you. We gon' show you a new way. The content it never strays from positive and uplifting. Once a week, the scope gifted with the presence of your eyes. What a distraction, beautiful to soul, especially in action. This year not ration, came in abundance. Films like in Sundance, tech like the pop or Tachi Queen. You are Curtis, a beast heart. You must carry, cause MCs they all vary and seldom do they motivate. World full of hate, we serve the hope on a plate across different platforms. Let's hear a buffet, hydration like Boucher. Don't focus on a day, we always here for you. MediaScope when you emotionally broke. Settle in our knowledge and conversations, go make them yours. What we run is Olympic, now your hands on the torch. Take it easy like Sundays on the porch. MediaScope when you emotionally broke. Settle in our knowledge and conversations, go make them yours. What we run is Olympic, now your hands on the torch. Take it easy like Sundays on the porch. Now you award winning with no award tours. This culture meets the art. Podcast with the heart and essence of the growth. The power's in the people. Without you, we ain't equal. What we lack is ego. We're back now, so here we go. Run the show like Arsenio. Episodic, our rituals, minds change through visual. Representation of our nation and its differences. Some explanation of our uniqueness and innocence. Mass media's intention is to desensitize. We raise the wise and knowledge is power. Without it, we turn coward and proud of a known product. Like we could take it with us. I wish the greats were still alive and here with us, but it is what it is. We're left here to share our gift, and that's precisely what we'll do with it. Shape shift and fluidly, we can pass this test and still in our unity.
And the music fades out. What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another riveting, exciting week of MediaScope. We talk all things media, tech, and pop culture, and I'm excited because we actually have a guest today. But before we get to that, my name is Tachi, media professor, filmmaker, media content producer. I am also a journalist, not just me. I'm joined by this guy behind the curtain. That would be a one, MC Curtis. Curtis, what's going on?
Hey everybody, what's happening?
Hey, you sound really excited. Can we have a guest today? Can you at least try and sound a little more chipper? Huh? Can you at least have some couth in front of company?
Hey everybody, what's happening?
And that's the best you're going to get out of MC Curtis. How's it going? Everything is good?
It's good. It's good. I feel like I'm recouping from a lot of work, but yeah, it's good though.
They worked you hard at the club this week, huh?
They did. Those socks, man, I tell you.
Those socks.
I couldn't keep them up. They kept...
Wow. That the bands didn't stay up, huh? Well, maybe you could take some of the dollars you got and buy some new socks.
I'll take a couple of quarters and put them in the, my grandmother used to do that to her nylon knee highs. Take quarters and kind of twist them on the side of it and tuck the quarter underneath not underneath it, but just underneath.
That was her purse?
No, that was how she did her nylons, her like knee-high nylons. So like if they were slipping down, she'd take a quarter or like a nickel or some kind of coin and put it on the side and twist it and then tuck it in.
Your grandmother was rich. Quarter? That's good money.
Yeah, I know.
Especially back then.
She better watch out. She had nylons at her ankles.
Looking like Thelma Harper from Mama's Family.
Absolutely.
Wow, you know what? So before we get to our guests, let's greet some of the folks that are here. Ann Ellis is here. Hello, Ann. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. And guess who else is here? B. Campbell Her is here. Beverly, it is so awesome to see you. And the proprietor of the Durham Skywriter is Patricia Murray. Pat, what's going on? Thank you so much for being here. And people will continue filing in. Let me just say, What's up to everybody listening on and watching on Facebook Live? Hello, hello. If you are joining us from YouTube or the tubing of the U, we're happy to have you. If you're watching on Twitter, what's going on, Twitter Massive? And if you are going to listen to us tomorrow on Gospel 107.1 FM, blessings.
I don't know why.
I don't know why that tickles you
I don't
so,
know
but
why.
I want them to be blessed. I want them
Yes,
to
you
be
do.
blessed. And guess who's here? The queen of food truckery, the minister of libation, Serena Wills is here, and she has put all of the accoutrement in for Taco Tuesday.
So
No,
don't talk.
sorry, Taco Wednesday. Go ahead.
Yes, I seen Serena coming in with on two wheels too.
One wheel.
Yeah, I
One
know
wheel.
she's been getting really busy here lately.
She can drive that truck. Oh my gosh.
Yes, she is.
We even have a guest, and you still, but that's okay. Our guest will get to know this, and he is patiently waiting. Joan Balcom is here as well. And let's get going. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am super excited for our guest. He is the host of After Dark with Johnny Ray and the Daily Johnny Ray Show, The Johnny Ray Show. He is also my CQ brother. I know him from Club Quarantine with D Nice. That's how we connected and met. And after this, we are going to have Johnny Ray. Here we go. Johnny Ray!
What's up? How is everyone? How are you
We
today?
are fantastic. How are you? Looking fabulous. And I see you're getting ready to grace us with some stuff. I'm excited.
Moving the libations out of the way for a moment, I want you to be surprised when I pop them out. I must say, I think that's the most excited I've ever seen your co-host, and you're looking like $100 million, I must say. I mean,
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Maybe I can turn them in for some real $100 million. I'll split it with you.
And maybe we can light a little Christmas holiday, whatever, you're celebrating fire under your co-hosts. You know what?
That won't work. But okay, we could try. Johnny Ray, you are so awesome. Tell us a little bit about yourself, like where you're from, and then we're going to get into some, not only crafting, but some talk, some media talk. Go ahead.
Well, first off, thanks so much, Tachi. I appreciate you more than I can say. And during this time of year, especially during this time that we're all in, I want to ignite some love and some energy underneath everyone, because that's what I do every day. I get up every day. I'm a multi-hyphenate artist and free agent. I jump up every day and film my show, Monday through Friday, The Johnny Ray Show, where we do anything. We snack and we craft. And then, of course, Friday nights, I have a rescue dog that joins me for After Dark with Johnny Ray, where we laugh and we learn and anything can happen. And I'm just trying to lift everyone up and raise their spirits, make beautiful crafts, and explore the opportunity for everyone to do something that's beautiful and meaningful, that will last for a long time and make memories, which is what we're all trying to do.
Absolutely. And we definitely need that at this time of year, which is why I wanted you to come on. I'm really intrigued by the fact that you really started broadcasting, doing your IG lives during the pandemic. Tell us a little bit about how you got started and why you started doing that.
You're right. You know, I wasn't any of those things, mostly before, except an artist, when I mentioned to you before. The pandemic, right. I was behind the scenes. I worked for many top celebrities and did lots of behind the scenes with events and high-end luxury floral and event design and restaurateuring. And when the pandemic hit, I stepped away because I had some health issues as a child, and I wanted to be careful and not to dabble into anything I didn't want to dabble into. So I turned the camera around and aimed it at myself and decided to just try, like many people were, my hand at being productive. And, you know, for a bit of a time, I think I was really energizing myself and making sure that I got up and I got great and clean and diligent and shaved and did something. But after a while, it began to transform into something that I realized I was really good at. and that people were interested in what I was doing and my point of view. And I think that's one of the most magical things about sharing your platform like this, that you actually get response from people. You have connections just like the one we have. And I think that's one of the most important things in life, is having a connection with someone or something.
Absolutely. And I'm really happy that these, see, folks, don't let people tell you about the ills of social media. Yeah, there are some downsides to it, but there are a lot of beautiful things, like me getting a chance to meet Johnny Ray, and the fact that he was able to use IG Live to connect with so many people and spread joy. And you actually do spread joy. So tell us a little bit about what you're going to do with us today. I'm excited.
I love that. And you know what? I just want to say one thing about what you just said while I jump here into a little glass full of a beautiful cubed ice, which is a Baccarat glass, of course, and one of my favorite beverages, Ribena, which is a wonderful black currant beverage I don't think many people know about.
I love Ribena. Oh my, come on, I'm
do.
African.
Of course you do. You love
I'm African. We drink Ribena. Yeah.
So we're going to top this beautiful cube of ice here right off with, whoa, a little Ribena. And then a little Topo Chico. Now, of course, you could add champagne if you wanted to, and you don't have to use Ribena if you don't have it. You could easily use cranberry juice or pomegranate or strawberry juice, whatever you have. But I wanted to really just say something really quick that, you know, I think I luckily has a vantage point that many people don't have, which, working with top celebrities and high-end names, if you will, I have the luxury of seeing that many people at the top suffer from just the same problems just like you and I do. In fact, the more money, just like they say you have, the more problems you have. So I think one of the things I realize is that you have to take stock in what's important, and what's important is something like this moment, you, me, and connecting with everyone, and not worrying about what, you know, the haters say, because that's really not important.
Absolutely. Okay, so what does this drink have a name? Tell us about this drink and how you came up with it.
We're going to call this the Johnny Ray Holiday Supreme. And I know what I'm going to top this Ribena up with, just a little bit of my favorite Topo Chico. If you don't have that, use club soda or Sprite if you like it sweeter. And then, of course, I've taken a little zest of lemon. I sliced this lemon off last night and just dried it on the counter, literally on the counter, on some paper toweling. And now I'm going to take it and rub it around the edge of my glass so that it gives a little fragrance and a little bit of elegance and a little bit of excitement.
This is a beautiful drink. So for those people who are not familiar with Ribena, that's black currant nectar.
Black currant.
So don't chug back the whole bottle of Ribena. It is basically like syrup. Go ahead.
You could even take a little piece of this holiday greenery like I have here and pull on this part here like this, and strip all of the green off so that you have this little twig. Then you could lie that into the drink. And look at that. I mean, that just looks like a holiday extravaganza happening.
It's so pretty. And it's okay to, I mean, you don't want to eat it, but it's okay to have it in your drink.
No problem.
Obviously.
As long as your tree is organic and isn't sprayed. You know, I wouldn't want to do that with something that was a flocked tree. But
okay.
We wouldn't want snow in our, which, by the way, of course, just in case, I always have a can of spray snow, just in case.
Of course you do, Johnny Ray. Of course you do. You're Johnny Ray. Why wouldn't you? Let's take, folks, if you are just joining us, we are joined by the host of After Dark with Johnny Ray, and we are talking video. We are talking crafting. We are talking holiday stuff, and I'm super excited to have him here. So make sure that if you have any questions or any comments, put them in the chat. Terry Johnson has just arrived, and she says, "Hey, MediaScope family, and your drink looks beautiful." Says Beverly. She loves that. Susan Angles over on the YouTube side is here. The tubing of the U. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. And MC Jasmine Graham, who's also our CQ family, is here. Hello, hello. Spare some of that tinkling ice. Yeah, don't worry. He's coming with the ice. So be sure to ask any questions, make any comments, because we love to have them. And so, Topo Chico, is that just sparkling water?
You know what that is? That's the water that's been fortified with carbonation. So it's been carbonated. It's a spring water that's been carbonated. So you could use any spring water. And if you like it a little sweeter, you could use club soda, or perhaps you could even use ginger ale, or like I said, you could use, if you were feeling fancy, you could use champagne, over the top. You could even use some other alcoholic kind of syrup at the bottom if you'd like. I just happen to like this in the afternoon because it's nice and refreshing. Everybody loves
Yes.
Ribena, and Topo Chico, as you know, is one of the new sort of hit drinks, and great. I think it really looks really nice there, sitting next to the glass. It looks really great.
It does. It's good. Apparently I'm not hip or chic because I only knew Topo Chico because of you using it, but I've never had it.
Yep.
I don't even know that they sell it in the stores here, but
Well,
I just
think it's great. I think it's great to have sitting around in here. Perhaps maybe I'll show you something. I'll set this right down here in front. This is just a little tray.
Yes.
This is just a little tray. I love having something like this around. I wanted to show you because this is very easy. You can make something like this. It's just the stump off the bottom of my Christmas tree. A few pieces of the fir tree that came from my Christmas tree, and one from the yard, and a few little succulents. And I just love the way it looks. It looks holiday. You don't need any ribbons. You don't need anything extra. And if you need to, when you're making a holiday gift, you could easily take one of these, tie it onto the ribbon, and it really looks like you went above and beyond. And I think a really great tip about doing something like this also is you could easily take a little water pick. And I love taking a little water pick. Let's see. I think I've gathered some of these here. And when you get a boutonniere, let's say you're doing a wedding or a holiday, I love it when they give you this little water pick. You can get this at any craft store or a floral store. That you could take a fresh flower or any green like this and plug it right in. And then you can tie a simple ribbon around that. Or you could even wrap a little bit of moss around the base of it. And I like to tuck that right into the greens here. Or even just a piece of my Christmas tree. I'd love to just tuck it right into the actual tree. Let's see, if I were having let's say I had a wreath like this, and I just wanted to add a little something to it. I could take this, which is a fresh flower or a fresh green, and just kind of lay it in there. And all of a sudden, it transforms something that's, sort of average and run of the mill into something that's a little more sort of interesting. I just like that idea. I love it.
And I can see that because you are so above average. And so I could never see you just having a plain tree or
It
just
takes one
a
to know
plain.
one.
Well, thank you. But let me tell you, guys, the only reason I'm going to move out of the way for a minute. You see, I have a little bit of decor back there. That's only because Johnny Ray was coming on the show, because otherwise, left to myself, it would have been just as bad. I was like, oh, well, I can't be lazy. Johnny Ray is coming on. So I actually did take the time to decorate. Really, it's because of you. So thank you for forcing me.
Well, I think one of the things that many people think is that it's difficult. And the thing about it is it's more, I think, intuitive. And because what I did was collect things. So, whether it's from my yard or let's say my neighbor's yard, I love to gather things from nature and assemble them. You can gather these very simple pine cones like this and just throw them on a wax, not a wax sheet, but a piece of parchment in the oven for 150 degrees for a half an hour to an hour, and it'll kill any sort of bugs or little oogie boogie, bad stuff that was in there. And then you can easily just clip something like this on. I mean, this is very, very simple. All I did was take a very little clip. I mean, this is, a clothespin that it looks like it's the size of a Bratz doll, but I just took this very simple ribbon. You could easily use something like this, like a little tree ribbon, but I've used this snowflake ribbon, and I just folded it over and clipped it right to it. Now I have this ornament.
Ooh.
No one's going to notice that. And in fact, it adds a little bit of charm, I think. It's interesting. You can do the same thing with natural bundles of cinnamon sticks. Just tie them together with a little wire or something, or add a little sparkle. And it makes all the difference in the world when you did it yourself. It's not something you just bought at the store. And you know what? You could use this again. You could put this into a little pot and boil it up with some other goodies. I love taking a little pot and taking part of my sage stick that I love to burn in my house to clarify things, a little bit of that lemon zest, some wonderful cinnamon sticks, and then cardamom and some cloves. And I just pop that right into a little boiling pot of water with some little black peppercorns and a little bit of vanilla. And of course, if you don't have the vanilla like I do, I always take some vanilla bean and put it in some vodka and let it cure over the holiday. But just use any old kind of vanilla. It doesn't have to be the kind that I'm using. I think it's really not about the level of what you're utilizing. It could be something from, a very a simple shop like this. This is a bulk kind of candy, and I love buying this for a great price, and then taking it and bulking it up and tying a big fat ribbon around it, adding a little fresh green, and people really know that you care. It doesn't have to be some exquisite, over-the-top, expensive, high-end luxury store. It's you took that time, and that's in this time and day and age when most people are just trying to get by. A little extra time spending doing something like that, it goes a long, long way. You know.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let me ask you, how long have you been crafting? Is this something you've been doing since you were young, or did this just pop up, years ago?
Yes, and you know what? I didn't answer all of your question earlier. I am from the Midwest, from a small
Oh,
town right in the heart of the Midwest. And you know, yes, I have been crafting for a long, long time. And I think one of the things that I found when I was young that made memories was the times when we got out all the ornaments that were handmade by my mom, and we put them up and had a beautiful drink, a celebratory drink, just not unlike this, that was delicious. And it just gave you that time. I mean, whether it's hot cocoa, whether it's a cocktail, whatever you're doing, whether it's
yeah.
ornaments that you bought at the store or ones you made themselves, I think it's those moments that you make because you took the time to do it. And I've been doing it for a long, long time. I think, especially when you start young like that, and you have surround yourself by creative people, which I always have, I think it rubs off on you. And I have some friends that are very enviable, very successful, very wonderful crafters, some at home and some on a very high end level. And you know, they're all in the same lane as far as I'm concerned. Do you know?
Wow.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I agree. So from Lawrence, Kansas
Yeah.
to Los Angeles, California, and I know
Yes.
you've been some other
Yes.
places in between,
For
but
sure.
what brought you, or not brought you because I'm not there, but what took you to LA?
You know what? I came here on a business opportunity to work for someone who I admired for many, many years. And I did. I actually worked for them for several years and created several jobs within that company. A wonderful celebrity floral designer. And I at that time, realized after sort of arriving at exactly pretty much every door that I never wanted to walk through, I realized, you know, this is wonderful, but this is not exactly what I think I want to do. I don't want my life to always depend on a moment in time, whether it's that specific wedding or event or party or baby shower or celebrity driven, whatever. I want to
Yeah.
reach a broader audience and I want to satisfy myself. And I realized over the course of just the last year, this has been almost 2 years I've been doing this, and over just the last year, I realized that I'm really good at what I do and I like it. And if I just keep doing that, people will of course respond. And just like you do it so well and you're so engaging and so warm and so welcoming. And I appreciate you.
Oh, and I appreciate you. I mean, that's why I tune in if I can every day. And if I don't, if I can't tune in live, then I watch the replay. So tell me a little bit about, I have a lot more questions for you.
Sure.
Tell me a little bit about the responses that you've gotten as a result of the Johnny Ray show and Johnny After Dark with Johnny Ray. What are the
Sure.
responses?
I'll tell you what. I think one of the things that people are responding to is the fact that I'm showing up. And I think in life, reporting for duty is 99% of the job. Because once you're there, if you're smart and you're diligent and you try to work hard and be a team player, even if you're the team, you're always going to succeed. And I think one of the things that I've really, really enjoyed having being responded to on is the thoughtfulness that I take. The moments in time when I look down and I read a message from someone who just says, I appreciate you and I am doing something because of you. I went to X, Y, or Z shop and I went on a walk and I collected pine cones because of you. I think it's the everyday inspiration, I think is one of the most gratifying things. Because I could be sponsored by all of the wonderful companies in the world, which of course I'd love to have you. But I am so satisfied when someone reaches out to me and says that I warmed their heart, or that they did something nice for someone, or that they did something and they thought to do something that they never would have thought of because I reminded them to do it.
Isn't that the best? I think I 100% agree. I know when, as I said earlier, that we're also in the Bahamas and the Caribbean. And so I'll put something out there like, is this happening in the Caribbean too? Let me know.
Right.
As the show was happening, they're in my inbox on Instagram saying, yeah, in Jamaica, such and such. Yeah, this is happening in St. Kitts. And it's from all over the Caribbean. And they're saying things like, keep up the good work. We're really enjoying the show. And because, sometimes you don't know until you get that feedback. Because in the midst of it, it's like, okay, is this going off right? Sometimes you think like that. So it really does make a difference when people let you know that they're enjoying what you do or that they did something because of something you said. So I 100% agree.
Well, I want to applaud you for that, because I totally agree, and I think the larger that someone's audience or platform gets, the more hopefully that they can spread whatever their word is. Let's hope that it's a positive word full of light and love and energy and positivity. But you know what? I think that's the reason that I think, not only because I wanted to get up and be shaven and report for duty, as I said, but I also wanted to remind everyone that that it is easy to do something a little bit extra. And sometimes when you remind someone, you may not be doing that every single day, but you reminded them, and then they remind you again. And it's a symbiotic kind of thing.
Absolutely. And when you say to get up and look, thinking about it, you look impeccable every day. I mean,
Well, that's awfully nice.
impeccable.
Well,
The hair, no, because
thank
there are some people you forget that
yes,
we've been in pandemic mode for a long time,
yes, you are correct.
and it's taking a lot of women are like, I don't even know how to wear heels anymore because I haven't worn them for
Yeah,
so long, and it's
I'm wearing
making me rethink.
platform sneakers, right?
Yeah, exactly. So you look impeccable
Well,
every
thank you.
day. You
Well, I
you
think
you
it's one of
really
the
do.
things, like I said, when you have something like this, whether it's a platform or a show or a chat or go lives or whatever it is people want to do, because I do encourage it, because it promotes authenticity. Because I think one of the things that people get away with a lot of online is a lot of just false narrative, if you will, because it's easy to post and edit and editorialize and have a staff do everything for you. And that's great, because you know
Right.
what? If you get to a level where you have to have a staff taking care of you, that's great. But they better be an authentic staff that represents you and your thoughts and your beliefs and your brand, because otherwise it's just going to look fake. And when you show
Indeed.
up and report every single day, like I do, even if it's just for 3 minutes, it's an accountability thing. And I think it's one of the things too, when you are someone who's a little bit shy, even though I've seen outwardly uh, uh, whatever, just hard to not notice. Sometimes those kinds of people like myself can be very shy inside, and it helps you. As you can see, when I talk about it, I get a little flustered. It helps
Yeah.
you become more confident, because you've just got to get out there and do it. The show, there's no one else going to get on stage, and no one else is going to help me set up this little cocktail bit for you.
Absolutely.
Mocktail.
Uh, your mocktail,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Which you can turn into a cocktail if you
It's
want. And
delicious.
speaking of that cocktail mocktail,
Yeah.
Curtis Brooks is chiming in from the background. MC Curtis says, "Man, that sure does look good. I'm so
Yeah.
thirsty." I bet you are, Curtis.
Well,
I bet you
but you
are.
know what? Now I'm going to make them hungry, because you know what? I'm going to show one of my favorite ways to give a gift, and that's
Yes.
to not wrap it. Okay. Go to the
Okay, let's
store,
do it.
spend a little less on the gift. This is my big tip for the day. Spend a little less on the gift and a little more on the packaging. Because look at this. This is gorgeous. It doesn't even need a bow. Now, great. Let's say you did want to put something on it. Good. Wrap it up. Put a bow on it. I don't care. But I love just opening up a box like on a TV show or a soap opera, opening it right up, and here's a big, beautiful bag of spiced, sweet, hot
Oh,
nuts that I made myself for quite next to nothing. And I've got a little wooden tag on here. It's all ready to go. So if I need to head out the door and give a gift, I've got it ready to go. You don't need tissue. You don't need all this fancy ribbon. You don't need a fancy bag. This looks gorgeous. You put a nice little name tag on that, and you're ready to go. And this is easy. It's just a big container of nuts, mixed nuts, whole nuts, of course, and then crackers that I cracked up, hot chili flakes, chili pepper, a little bit of sea salt, and some vegetable spray. Now, if you like it sweet, you could add a little agave or maple syrup and skillet that in a nice hot cast iron skillet, of course, for 15 to 20 minutes. Or if you don't have one of those, throw it in the oven. And look at that. That's a gorgeous gift. You pop that in. And the other thing I love to do is wrap up in fabric. Don't waste paper. Use a piece of fabric like this. I bought this at the dollar store for $3. And look at how great this is. This is just a little jar of kisses. And it looks like it came from Tiffany's. I mean, it's gorgeous. And this is a candle that I burned. And then when I was done burning the candle, I put the bath sea salts that I make and some flowers and some cinnamon in here and wrapped it up. And it looks like it came from New York City. And I don't even live anywhere near New York City.
But you've got the New York flair. So
There
we're
you have
adopting
it.
you as a New Yorker.
There you have it.
So no, those are absolutely gorgeous. So do you do a lot of upcycling when it comes to gift?
I do, and I do, and I think just because this is an old candy jar that came with candy in it, and I put a new candy in that. This, like I said, is an old candle that came from Diptyque. I do the flowers every week at the Diptyque boutique right here in Los Angeles, California, at the Grove. The Grove is a wonderful shopping center right next to the LA Farmers Market. And this was a Diptyque candle, and I put my bath sea salts in there and wrap it up, and it looks like it came from a fancy shop. And the same with this. This was an old candle that I had a top on it, and then of course I put the salts in there, wrap it up, and it looks, I think, like $1 million. I think upcycling, using old candle holders, glass containers. This is an old whiskey glass that I've used here to hold things in. I love doing that a lot. I think it's one of my favorite tips is utilizing old vessels and giving them a little bit of new life. When I make my floral mix, I add a little bit of vodka or alcohol, and I keep it in a nice glass like this, because then I can keep it on the counter and it actually looks good. It doesn't look like, I've been drinking a whole bottle of vodka.
Right, absolutely. So we have a few comments. Susan Engel says that she is excited about this drink that you just made.
Yeah.
I am too. It takes Ribena to a whole new level. I mean, obviously I've done sparkling water, but this is a whole new level.
Ribena is great. It's a nice, deep, dark, kind of, what is that color? That deep purple, right?
Yeah. Like a plummy burgundy-ish thing going on.
And then, of course, you have to add just a little bit of this. It's very easy to do. You just take a lemon and very slowly slice the rind off and dry it on some paper toweling at night. You wake up the next day and you have this beautiful, fragrant lemon zest that you can put right inside the drink. And as you can see, it looks super elegant and cool. I think it's really neat. It's very special.
It does. It does. And it's very pretty that Susan Engel says. It is very pretty.
It is.
Graham is clapping because she loves it so. And in terms of what you were talking about before, she said you are absolutely correct. So, I mean, from philosophy all the way to the crafting and the cooking. Do you cook as well?
Do you know what? I spent many years with chefs and in restaurants and being a restaurateur. And so I have the knack. If I have to whip up a souffle, I could definitely do it for you. If I have to cook a steak just perfectly, you know the test. It's on your hand right here. Medium rare, well done, very easy. But no, I don't really like to cook. I would just as soon eat a smoothie and a power bar and order Chinese every day of my life and order a pizza on the off days.
Wow.
That's just me. But I do love chefing and making things for people, and I think that making things that are like nut mixes and snack mixes and wonderful caramels and coated nuts, those are all very easy things to do because you can buy them in the grocery store. You don't have to go anywhere special, and it's fun to experiment in the kitchen. I mean, you can make caramel by just taking a wonderful pan, a very serious pan, one that's high quality, or that can take a lot of heat, and just by putting the sugar in it, just plain sugar. And then as the sugar starts to melt, you push it towards itself because you don't want any moisture to come in, but it will immediately turn into a caramel. Then you can take that and run it off onto anything. I love taking a bowl and putting it on a surface and covering it with wax paper, drizzling that caramel over it, waiting till it dries, turning it over, and you have a little caramel bowl to serve whatever, candies, treats, cookies.
Oh. You could serve ice cream in that too, couldn't you?
That would be really neat. A wonderful trick too is to take a microwave-safe bowl and take Starlight or Rainbow hard candies and line the bowl with it and microwave it on very, very low for about 15 seconds at a time until they melt together and make a nice candy bowl.
Oh,
I love
wow.
that idea. Yeah,
Yeah, that's an awesome idea.
I
Wow.
love that idea.
So I do too. I do too. So and you don't have to tell us, any of the celebrities you necessarily worked for, but is there an event that you worked for or that you did for one of these celebrities that stands out that's one of your favorites?
Sure. You know what? I will tell you that one of the most standouts is, quite frankly, an unknown event. We worked for many, many days on an event for someone who had celebrities performing at the event, but I'm not really sure who the wedding was for. But it was an outdoor wedding, and we spent days and days arranging gorgeous floral displays, beautiful plant displays, trees raining with flowers. But we never knew who it was for. But I'd probably say a close second would definitely be, of course, um, Kris Jenner's holiday party. Now, it's well known
Wait,
in
wait,
Hollywood.
wait now. You don't just drop you did Chris Jenner's holiday party?
Well, I worked alongside many people, of course, a small army of people, and underneath the helm of the lead, the floral designer for the event. And so I had many hands in it several years. But it's one of those events that you look at and you just think, this is an over the top party. This is something that I would never have thought of. It was the first time I had ever seen someone take fresh flowers and put them in a tree for an event. Now, I've since done that and taken that idea to the next level and put fresh flowers and plants and beautiful things in my tree. But this was just roses for the night. They weren't even in water picks. Hundreds, if not thousands, of bright red roses just plugged into these 10-foot Christmas trees. And of course, giant globes
Wow.
of flowers everywhere. Santa this, Santa that. Lots of flowers. And I think one of the things that I remember the most was just the magic of that all one color. It was red, of course, during the holidays that year. And all one beautiful color is really, really magical. I'm doing an all gray green holiday theme on my tree this year, which is this color.
So it's kind of like a sage green in a
A
sense.
sage green, yeah. So,
Okay,
and I've
okay.
dried all sorts of beautiful magnolia leaves here, which I think are a wonderful little tip. You can take a white pen and write someone's name on a magnolia leaf or a gold pen, and it makes a wonderful gift card if you don't have a gift tag to put on your gift.
Now those are dried, obviously, magnolia
Those are
leaves.
dried. I had those on a magnolia stem, and I just took them and put them in a dry place in my house. And I love doing that. I love doing that with magnolia like this. And as you can see, they get sort of a shimmering look to them. And if they have a little crack, it doesn't really matter. I think it adds to a little bit of that patina. Of course, you can spray some glitter on there or whatever you like, but I love the naturalness of it. And I easily just take something like this uh, pipe cleaner, and you can just poke it right through that little hole, make like
Wow.
this, write their name on it, and then you just tack that right onto, let's say, this little gift here, and it just adds that sort of elegant touch that something no one ever would have thought of that. And it's just that you thought of it. It doesn't have to be all this fanciness. It doesn't have to be these perfect little flowers, but I love things like this. A little pick like this, you can tuck this right into the tree or on a gift, and don't worry about not having this covered up. This is part of it. I mean, I think I'm a firm believer that everything has its part. I've never been a person who, let's say, covers up the cord on a lamp on the wall. I believe that it's all right if the cord is sticking there, because you know what, you couldn't
Right.
have that. You couldn't have the lamp if you didn't have the cord, Dr. Tachi.
Exactly. Exactly. So
Right.
you're looking on the utility of the things that tend
Yeah.
to be eyesores for other people.
I,
Brilliant.
I will always judge my work more than anyone else, and I think everyone else is just looking at it as a matter of that I took the time to do something special. And I think that's why people tune in to see shows like yours, because you're taking the moment and the extra time to delve into it and discuss it.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Okay, so as we're walking and talking, well, not we're
Yeah.
walking, but we're talking and doing this, let me just say hello to everybody who's just joining us. If you've never been here before, welcome to the fold. This is the MediaScope show. That's not what it's called. It's called MediaScope. I'm thinking the Johnny Ray show.
Woohoo!
This is yay! This is MediaScope, and we have Johnny Ray, who
Yeah.
is the host of the Johnny Ray Show and After Dark with Johnny Ray. He is on Monday through Friday, just giving us fabulousness and like all some of the things like you see here. This is the things. These are the things that he does on a daily basis. So, okay, Johnny Ray, you talked to us about one of your favorite events, and obviously that was a large event.
Yeah.
What is a memorable smaller event, maybe by somebody that is not quite so famous? What's one of a
You
memory
know
of
what
a
I would say?
favorite
One of my
smaller?
favorite events. I just posted a photograph yesterday on my social media. One of my favorite things to do is to decorate someone's home, and to decorate someone's home that you know is always really rewarding as well. It doesn't have to be, but several years back, I decorated for some folks who were having a large set of renovations done, and the renovations were falling behind, of course, as many renovations do, and so they were having to spend a holiday, in quite a bit of a mess. And so it was this wonderful feeling of being able to come in on those days right before the holiday and fill, the staircase with garland and the tree, light the tree, and to cover the beautiful fireplace with boughs of beautiful greenery, and add wonderful amaryllis and fantastic moss, and just lichen, bringing the inside out, the outside in. And
Yeah.
I saw the look on some of the children's faces, who of course were college age, as they were coming home that day, seeing the tree for the first time, seeing the garland. And it was just so rewarding, because then I got to come back right before the holiday and do a wonderful decoration for the Christmas table as well. But it doesn't matter what it's for. I think even though that was a luxurious event, of course, something that at this venture, I probably would I would I'm not at a place right now where I would feel comfortable making the floral arrangement on my dining room table be upwards of $500. But more power to you if you have the means and the desire to do that. But I just think that was one of the most beautiful things, because they were so happy, to see it. And I now have these wonderful memories, these beautiful photographs. And then I think probably the other would be my own tree. I love to decorate my own tree every year, whether or not the tree is live or artificial, or green and fresh like this, or whether it's covered in faux snow. I think it's really fun to decorate my own tree, and my own memories always come around playing the same style of music, having the same scents and things around. I make my little scented things, I drink my little drink, and it just brings back those memories of being a child, having my mom make wonderful ornaments for the tree, and decorations for the house, and cookies, and all that kind of good stuff. So.
Wow, fantastic. Well, we have about 10 minutes left. Folks, get your questions and your comments in so we can put them up on the screen. Let's talk a little bit about what you'd like to do, how you envision After Dark with Johnny Ray and the Johnny Ray Show growing, or are you fine with where it is now? Are there any things that you have planned for both shows?
Great question. I love that. You know what? I love a good question that you can delve into and kind of dig your teeth into, one that you can pull your glasses off and sit down. Do you know what? I think the platform that I have now, the Johnny Ray Show, which is Monday through Friday at noontime on the West Coast and 3 p.m. on the East Coast, and then After Dark with Johnny Ray on Friday nights, of course, is at 9 p.m. on the East Coast and 6 p.m. on the West. Those two shows, I think, are a springboard for something that is obviously growing every single day, kind of like a little train chugging down the track. And yes, I would love for it to get bigger. I think it would be wonderful to have offshoot brands and relationships with other brands. I would love to create partnerships and design products for people and for homes. And I think that one of the things that I'm best at is creating and making things. And I think that that's just a natural partnership. And I think that's just a matter of time. It's already happening to some extent. and I look forward to it. And you know what? Opportunities like this to share time with you and your energy and your light and your love and your message are something that you can't buy.
Fantastic. So if and that's wonderful, because I was hoping you were going to say, yeah, this is going to bigger and bigger things, not necessarily better, but bigger, because you're already great. But I was hoping that you were going to say that. If you could have a dream, say they gave you a segment on a show, do you have a dream show that you would like to have a segment on?
Oh, you mean a weekly segment or a daily segment?
Yeah, like a weekly or daily segment, a regular segment. Is there a show
Wow, I
that
think
you said that's
great
where I'd like to
question.
be?
Do you know what? I think that I would love to have a weekly segment on a news program because
Mm,
and by news program I mean a news program that is not managed by an entertainment company. So perhaps
okay.
NPR or public radio
Oh,
or the likes. Because I think it would reach the broadest audience. Now, of course, I would love to be picked up by the Today Show, or Kelly and Ryan, whatever these shows are. That all sounds fine and dandy, and I'm dying to go on those shows. I think they deserve someone like me. They need someone like me
yes.
and my energy and my
Yes.
creativity and my ideas. But I think something that could reach a broad audience. I know that you and I were talking about the show PM Magazine. Now, if
Yes.
PM Magazine were still on, I would say, get me on that show right now because Chef Tell and I need to do a segment together.
Yes. Yes. No, I think that is awesome. I could see you in any of these places. And you
Yeah.
mentioned NPR. Did you ever listen to a show called The Splendid Table?
No, and you know what? I actually am not that huge of a news absorber, and I should.
Ah,
It's funny that I should say that answer because I probably would have expected myself to say some nationwide broadcast. But I think the more I think about it, I would love to just have my own platform. I've always dreamed of having a great Saturday morning TV show that was accessible to many different people, whether it's kids, adults, it doesn't matter what age it is. And nowadays, you don't need to be on at a certain time. You can do whatever you want, whenever you want it, and people are going to either like it or lump it. And it's like I like being liked, but you know what? You can lump me too because you know what? There's always another street to go down. You don't have to look at mine.
absolutely. Absolutely. And Jasmine Graham says, yes, they need you, Johnny.
Yes.
They really
Right.
do. And Susan Engel says a lot of great ideas. Thanks so much, Johnny Ray. And to me, absolutely. Look, I'm just the conduit. I'm just providing the
I do have a little
platform.
tray here. I'll show you another little
Yeah,
idea
please.
here. This is a great idea. This is a tray that I keep handy. And what this is, I call this my little gift tray. So what it has is a little bit of everything on it. It's got a couple of boxes for wrapping things. This is some wonderful gift tags and a little pen to write names. These are already made gift tags, glass jars, and a little tin from the dollar store. And then, of course, some fresh greens, something to wire it up with. If you have to, some tissue paper and some greeting cards, if you have to. And then, of course, little extras. Always go and buy yourself something in the beauty or bath department like this. You can chop this up into 4 or 5, 6 pieces, and that way you get so much more bang out of it. I like buying in bulk like this. Lots of little tags and lots of little things. And having it all together, it actually looks really nice on the table. It looks like a little display, but you're actually getting ready to give your gifts. And then, of course, I love making a floral mix every year. And what I did all year was just save the flowers dried and leaves. And now I wrap them up in little sachets like this, tie them up, and then give them to people to throw in their gym bag or their luggage or whatever. And you know what? It's so much better than spending $5, $6, $7, $10, $12 on a sachet. I've easily been at a department store. They're charging $10 for something like that, which I made basically for pennies.
Wow. So you said that you could see yourself with a line of things, maybe home decor, that type of thing.
Sure.
Would the sachets be part of something that you
For
would
sure.
include?
I think one of my favorite things is things that are consumable, something that you can utilize and that you want to have and do again. Something that's seasonal and something that's fresh, something that people can interact with and live with, and then recycle, put away, or make a new one or buy a new one. Because I think one of the things that keeps brands fresh is keeping people engaged and keeping the customer pleased, because people will just get bored if you just keep doing the same thing over and over again. You can do the same thing and do it well, But if you do it differently every season, and if you do it different seasonally and make it fresh and you have integrity, people will notice it right off the bat.
Absolutely. I 100% agree. And Nadine Kelly is saying, thank you. Great ideas. And hey, Nadine, how are you? I saw you earlier and now I'm getting a chance to say hello. Thanks for being here. So before we end, I want to ask you, Johnny Ray, first of all, is there anything else you'd like to share with us that you haven't had a chance to share? And what message would you leave? Because you're also really positive. What message would you leave with everyone for the rest of the year and going into the new year?
You know what I think, Tachi? I think one of the things that I would say is I would repeat what I say at the end of my show, which I try and aspire to be a moniker of, and I do not always achieve that. In fact, many times I fail and I'll just stumble. I'll get right back up and I'll apologize. I'll make amends and I'll move forward and do it again. And every single show, I always tell people to be kind to themselves. I tell people to be kind to others, and I tell people to, of course, always be kind to animals. That pretty much encompasses everything. And if you live your life that way and you try and you aspire to be that way, as long as you're trying, it's the best that you can do. And you know what? People are going to make mistakes. We're on a giant ball flinging through the universe at warps. Who knows how fast we're going? We might as well have some fun. We might as well be inspiring, and we might as well just try and make people smile a little bit more.
Absolutely. So bringing joy and giving respect to all forms of life.
Exactly.
Fantastic.
And you know what? To always remember to just tell people that you love them, to tell people that you respect them, to remind people that that you are inspired by them and that they're kind. And I think that's one of the things that I always admire about you, is that you are all of those things embodied. You're kind, you're inspiring, you're wonderful, and people look up to you. So you remember that.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. And I look up to you. So how can we find you? I'm guessing Instagram is the best way, but tell everyone how we can find you.
You know what? It is the best way right now, but guess what? Soon enough, I will be relaunching my website, the JohnnyRayProducts.com website, which will be up and running after the new year. But right now, you can reach me on After Dark with Johnny Ray. My show, Monday through Friday, The Johnny Ray Show. Like I said, it's at noontime right on the West Coast, 3 p.m. on the East Coast. And After Dark, that's Friday nights. After Dark with Johnny Ray, where my little rescue dog, Miss Molly Goodgolly, she'll join me at 9 p.m. on the East Coast and 6 p.m. on the West. Anything can happen after dark. I do crafts, snacks, and history facts. And boy, are my snacks big.
They are. We're usually building mountains of something.
Something large. I think it's going to be a mountain of panettone. Oh, I said it.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to be looking forward to that this Friday. And you all should be looking forward to it as well. Make sure that you are following him, After Dark with Johnny Ray, on IG, so you can catch the Johnny Ray Show Monday through Friday, and After Dark with Johnny Ray on Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Am I correct?
You are correct, and I can't wait to see you being projected onto every major network, whatever network you would ever desire. And of course, I would gladly come on your show any day of the week. I'm here for you. I want to thank you so much for having me and supporting me and my platform. All I want to do is just make everybody smile, because you know anything can happen after dark, and I appreciate you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, don't forget you said that, because when it comes time, I'm going to be like, Johnny Ray, remember you said. so I'm going to bring you on. Remember that.
You got it. I'm here for you.
And I'm here for you.
Don't forget, you'll be on my show noontime on Friday.
Yes. Thank you. So I'm actually going to be, Curtis, you can keep the both of us on, keep us both on from this point on. So you can watch Johnny Ray and me together. I will be on his show on Friday, the Johnny Ray Show, at 3 p.m. Eastern, which is 12 p.m. Pacific. Yes.
You got it. Perfect.
There we go. So we'll just be talking and we'll be doing something, but I'm just happy to be back in the space. I was on once before, and I'm so excited to be back again. And that's on his channel on IG at After Dark with Johnny Ray. And we have some comments. Joan Balcom says, great ideas. Thank you both for putting me in the holiday spirit. If we did nothing else, I'm glad that we succeeded with that. Yes, and Terry Johnson says, great ideas. Thank you. Jasmine Graham is laughing because so she's had a great time, apparently. She said, it's such a fun show. Thank you, Tachi, Curtis, and Johnny. No, this was so much fun. The IG again, let me put that up. The IG again is at After Dark with Johnny Ray. So make sure you follow him on IG. Follow him, put on the notifications. Every day he's got something for you, and it is so much fun. You don't want to miss this. As I make that my 3 o'clock on the East Coast every day, just because it's so much fun. So make sure we have a few more comments. Thank you, Jasmine Graham is putting that up again. After Dark with Johnny Ray. Thank you so much, Johnny Ray. I can't wait to make this Ribena drink. I am going to the British store so that I can pick up a bottle of Ribena tomorrow and make this. Yes,
it's got those black currants on the front of it. If you're wondering, folks.
Yes, black currant nectar. It is it was a big thing like when we were little, but it's really more of a thing if you go to foreign eateries now that you can buy. So I always get it from like a British depot or something like that.
I believe I got mine at a Middle Eastern store, an Indian store, perhaps even maybe.
Right. And any place that the British were, they have Ribena. So
I always think a great place to shop is in bulk, is wonderful European and markets from other countries, because that you definitely are going to get that freshness and that something that you didn't really get here. You can't. Everything here comes in a very prescribed bottle, and it's like I love getting something that seems a little more beautiful and raw.
Absolutely. I love that too. It's earthy. I love it. Johnny Ray, once again, thank you so much for gracing the MediaScope Massive with your presence. Good, because we can't wait to have you back. Thank you so very much. And we're going to sign off. Hey, MC Curtis, come on, please. So we're going to have MC come on, and then, hey, MC.
Hey.
Did you enjoy the show?
I did. It was absolutely awesome. I was liking that drink too.
We saw you. We imagined you salivating for this drink back there.
Yeah, I was liking how he was always replenishing that drink. I was
He did replenish it.
Yes, he did. That's
the restaurateur and the host in you. You make sure that no glass is empty.
I will always take care of you, my dear.
Fantastic. Thank you. So with that, we're going to let him go, let you guys go. Love you for watching. Bid you adieu. You guys, Johnny Ray, MC Curtis, myself, and this delicious Ribena drink. Let us all exit stage left. See you next week. Cheers.
Yeah, Close the doors, walk across the corridor. We got something to show you. Media is our repertoire.